Hey everyone, welcome back to part 3 of our baby registry checklist review, where I'm going to be talking to you about gear and travel and which items are necessary and which are optional. Just a quick correction, I know we told you last time that we were going to talk about bath and potty, but we're going to delay that until next week's video. Just as a quick note, I found the BuyBuyBaby registry website very easy to navigate, so if there are items that you're unsure of, what they are, what options you have, check it out if you haven't already. With all that aside, let's just jump right into the video. Okay guys, so the first thing that we're going to talk about today are strollers. And strollers are a pretty big topic because it's basically like buying a car for your baby. It's going to be what you use to travel around places. They're going to be sitting in it for many hours throughout this stage of life. So you definitely want to do your homework before purchasing. I want to say it's the most expensive item on your registry, most likely. So you definitely want to do your homework and look at what features you're looking for and what fits your lifestyle. Ultimately, that's going to be the most important thing because not everyone has the same lifestyle and the features that appeal to you may differ from another person. I want to go out there and say that we actually didn't need to buy a stroller because Victoria's parents took very good care of her stroller and we actually are still using it for Caspian. However, it is worth mentioning that if we were to buy a stroller, we would have most likely purchased the City Select Luxe from Baby Jogger. Mostly because it had the features that we were looking for. It was able to hold 2 seats in case we wanted an additional child. I really like the add-on for the City Select Luxe where you can have your older child stand on a platform on the back. It just seemed like a really cool feature. All that to say, the City Select Luxe would have been our stroller of choice. So in the realm of strollers, the next one that we can discuss are umbrella strollers. And these are the ones that can be folded very easily and are compact and can be used for travel. I would recommend this if, say, you're going to go to your in-laws very often or friend's house. This is the one that's going to fit into your vehicle very easily. We also did not put this on our registry. However, a friend was kind enough to give us an extra one. We actually used the umbrella stroller that we had indoors. It helped a great deal to give our arms a break because Caspian grew so quickly and he became heavy real fast. So if you have that kind of luxury, that could be another creative option to use your umbrella stroller for. Now, strollers have a lot of accessories that you can purchase. The first one we're going to discuss is a Stroller Footmuff. This is basically a sleeping bag for your stroller. It's going to be helpful if you take walks outside or if you're in cold weather. Most foot muffs are going to be in the range of $50 to $200, so of course it's going to differ in the quality and how much warmth it's going to offer. Find the one that's appropriate for you. Some of the things you can consider before purchasing a foot muff, if you decide to, is what size it is, so make sure that it fits into your stroller and that it actually will attach properly. The next few accessories are kind of the same, so this is the Raincover, the Sunshade, and the netting. I think they're kind of self-explanatory, but if you plan on taking your baby out for a walk in the rain, then you will want a rain cover. If you have a lot of sunny climate, then the Sunshade is going to help you with that to keep the sun out of baby's eyes. And the netting, I'm not really sure about that, but I guess if you're taking your baby out for walks in the forest, then you want netting. Yeah. Cup, snack holder, and storage console for the parents. So these are all accessories that can attach to the stroller itself, and it's going to depend on your lifestyle on whether or not you want to purchase each of these. Because we're in a pandemic right now, we don't go on long extended trips very often in the stroller, so we don't have that much use for these features, so we decided to save some money and not purchase those. However, if you do want to have them, it may be worth your while. It's going to depend on how often you think you're going to use your stroller and what you're looking for. Stroller hooks are basically just carabiners. Some of the big brands go up to $40 for a pair of 2. The only difference that I can see is that they have a side of foam on them so it won't scratch your stroller. I'm pretty sure if you wanted to save some money, you could skip out on these and buy any carabiner to hold your grocery bags. Just make sure it has the weight capacity for what you're planning on hanging off your stroller so you don't tip your stroller over or anything like that. But I definitely think this is an area where you can save. The last accessory we have for a stroller is the standing platform. So this is usually attached to the back of the stroller for an older child to stand on while you're pushing. I think it's a pretty cute feature if you do have an older child to use that. And of course that is going to be optional. So the next big topic in the discussion for travel is car seats. There's 2 main types to consider. One is the infant car seat and the other is the convertible. We decided to skip out completely on the infant car seat and go straight into the convertible. Primarily because we are still in the pandemic at this time and we didn't foresee driving a lot, so we thought we'd save a couple $100s by just not doing that. The main appeal for the infant car seat though is that you can easily transfer baby into the seat at the hospital or the place of delivery, and then easily click that into the base that's in your car. And then once you're at home, you can easily detach that and it goes into your stroller, and that's going to be how you can transfer between your stroller and the car just through an easy click. The convertible car seat is basically just a car seat as you would traditionally think about it. So we'd have to place the baby into the car seat and potentially wake him up when we're transferring him. 6.5 months into having our baby, we don't regret skipping out on the infant car seat at all. One thing to consider for the convertible car seat is to make sure that it has a head and body support insert, so that when your baby is much smaller, they'll have extra cushioning for them and they can actually fit in the seat. And then as they grow larger, that insert can be removed. One thing to mention about the infant car seat as well is that it's compatible with your stroller, because the seat will have to click into the base that's attached to your car, and that same adapter will be required to click into your stroller. Sometimes, even if the brands aren't the same, there are adapters that will be able to mix and match, so make sure you look into that before purchasing. So now we're going to talk about some of the accessories that revolve around car seats. The first is the car seat protector. So many of you might think that this is a small purchase to prevent damage to your vehicle. It's actually not recommended by many manufacturers because it's a safety risk. An easy way to think about it is if any device obstructs the car seat in any way, whether that's the harness or the base, it's likely going to affect the safety of the car seat. So we'd recommend you could save yourself $30 to $40 by skipping out on this, and to read the manual of your car seat and make sure you install it properly. If it's installed correctly, it shouldn't move and it should be safe for your child, and it also shouldn't damage your vehicle. The next thing is waterproof car seat liner. So this is going to be for a little bit later on when your baby is starting to work on potty training. This is basically a liner that goes inside of the car seat. So if your baby has an accident, it doesn't damage the car seat or your actual car's interior. The next thing is the car mirror and window shade. So I personally found the car mirror very helpful. It gives you the ability to look back through your rearview mirror and then see the mirror that's looking at your baby. And you're able to see things like if their baby has fallen asleep, or if their nose is obstructed in any way, things like that, or just seeing your baby because you're obsessed with this new cute person in your life now. The window shade is obviously going to be helpful because there is a lot of sun and it's going to go directly into your baby's face, so I would definitely recommend having a window shade. Next is a car seat bunting or cover, and this is kind of similar to the Stroller Footmuff but for your car seat, and it's basically just a sleeping bag again, something to provide additional warmth for your baby. This can be helpful, but just be warned that there are some that can pose a safety hazard, so look out for the ones that do not obstruct the harness of the car seat from the baby's body. However, if you wanted to save some money again, we would recommend just having a blanket of sorts and to put that over your baby after they're buckled in, just to keep an extra eye on them so that the blanket isn't pulled or anything and that becomes a suffocation hazard. Toys are kind of self-explanatory. There's a plethora of options of what you can purchase. I think what I'll mention though is for Caspian, the ones that were most effective and long lasting for interest were the ones that both produced sound and light. Most of the other toys, he seemed to be really interested as soon as he got them. He might have interacted with them for that day, but then soon lost interest and then maybe revisited it some weeks down the road. However, the ones that produced sound and light, he interacted with pretty regularly, so I would recommend those ones first. Toys are a common gift though, so we didn't actually put any in our registry except for some marine mammal toys for the bath, for me. Okay. So if you want to have specific toys, you could put those on your registry, but you're most likely going to receive some either way. The last accessory for your car seat and your stroller actually is a travel bag. So this is essentially something that just protects it, and you can zip your car seat and your stroller up in this bag, and it's good for things like travel. I've read at some sources that flights will actually provide free luggage for strollers, but I don't think that's going to be every flight and everyone's experience, so make sure you look at that up before you travel. So the next thing that we're going to talk about are baby carriers. There are a few kinds out there, but the two that we tried are the Boba Wrap and the baby carrier from Baby Bjorn. So in Victoria's opinion, the Boba Wrap was very helpful, and it's beneficial because you can distribute the weight differently depending on how you wrap it around yourself. Because it's very customizable, it can fit your body very easily. However, I found to take it on and off all the time and to rewrap it fully was a little tedious. The Boba Wrap was helpful for the newborn stage though, because your baby is so small, so having a sling type of wrap is good for that stage. Once our baby was able to fit in the Baby Bjorn carrier, I preferred that much more just because it's easier to put on and it distributes a lot of the weight into your back. However, that gives you some sore back muscles. So hello yoga. So we recommend having at least one baby carrier just because it is easier to use once your baby is a little bit bigger and actually fits into it. But this is going to be another preference thing of which type you prefer wearing and if you find it tedious or which is too much work. So because Victoria used the bubble wrap more than I did, she learned a few tips and tricks along the way that helped her be able to put it on and off faster. So there is a learning curve with a bubble wrap, and that's just worth mentioning. Swing, bouncer, and rocker. So these three devices are very similar in nature, and we actually skipped out on all of them. We did use this basket type thing that we were able to put Caspian in when we needed to put him down and to just get a break from holding him, or he just needed to rest. We also used the boppy very often, and he would just lie between the crevice. We didn't put them on our registry because we wanted to wait and see if Caspian would actually prefer it. We have heard from some friends that they swear by these devices and their baby absolutely loves being in them, while other friends say their baby does not like being in them and they never spend any time in them. So it's going to depend on the preferences of your baby. Entertainer and jumper. So we found that the entertainer was actually very helpful. Some of them are designed very well where they have the interactive components on them scale with their development. So as your baby grows older, they'll actually discover new parts of what they've been playing with already. And the jumper is something that's usually hung on a doorway, or it can just be hung up on a stand that it comes with, and the baby will be able to jump. These are both devices that are very playful and a lot of babies like them. Caspian certainly loved them. However, just be aware that prolonged use of these devices can lead to some developmental risks. So because their weight is fully suspended by their groin area, it isn't great for their muscle development and can lead to some issues later on in life. Most of them I think can be fixed though, but just be weary of that. The next item is a Playard. We definitely recommend one of these because we found it so helpful. When you're looking for this, make sure to find one that has the attachments on top, like a changing table or a little bassinet. We use this very often, and what we actually did with the Playard was to have it open in a different room on a different floor of the home so that we could have a separate changing table, and this was very helpful. A Playard or pack and play is also really helpful for if you decide to travel because it collapses and is very compact. It's also recommended to get a few sheets for it because the base of them is usually not easily washed, so a sheet for that is going to be helpful. And the last couple things here are diaper bag for mom and dad. To save you some money, you can just use your backpack. Just make sure it has enough pockets to hold all the things that you need, like the wipes and diapers and formula and food dispenser, clean water, stuff like that. Make sure it has enough compartments. The last thing that we have is a changing mat. You're definitely going to want a clean space to be able to change your baby when you're out and about. So we were able to skip out on this because Victoria used her talents and made a changing mat out of reusable materials. That's it for part 3, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to hear our opinions about items related to the nursery, decor, and clothing, you can click up here. And if you wanted to listen about what we thought about the nursing and feeding items, you can click here. Our next part is going to be our last one for the series, where we talk about bath, potty, safety, and health. Until then, that's it for now, guys. See you later.